There are also a lot of congressional runoffs happening around the state today. There is District 16, which covers part of the peninsula and the South Bay. It's held by Congresswoman Anna Eshoo, who's retiring after more than 30 years. So there are 11 candidates in the running to take her seat. It's a crowded race, and that includes former San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo, State Assembly Member Evan Lowe, Santa Clara County Supervisor Joe Simidian, and tech entrepreneur Peter Dixon. We do have team coverage for you tonight. Our Len Ramirez live at Peter Dixon's party, who has been shaking up the race with the issue of artificial intelligence. But we want to go ahead and start off with Max Darrow. He is live with former mayor of San Jose, Sam Liccardo, in San Jose. Max.
Yeah, we're here at Luna Mexican Kitchen in Campbell. This is the official watch party for former San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo. A lot of people are starting to trickle in now. The event started about 8 o'clock. We spoke to some of the early arrivals here about some of the issues that they're hoping that the next representative for District 16 will address, but also qualities they will bring with them to office. One of the issues really top of mind, at least to some of the voters we talked to here, we're finding issues to the issue of homelessness, finding solutions to the issue of homelessness here in the district. And another big one was getting a representative who's going to be able to work at the national level, who's going to be able to be productive in that role. Obviously, this would be a big bump up for the former mayor of San Jose, Sam Liccardo, trying to make that jump to the national role. But at least some of the voters that we spoke with today say they think he's the one to do it. Listen to this.
We need to really focus on, at least put some focus on protecting our environment while we can't have it. I mean, here in the Santa Clara Valley, it's so beautiful. We have such beautiful environmental areas and parks and open spaces that, you know, with this crazy building we're doing now, we need to really think about how we're going to build into the future, because if we don't take care of our open spaces, they're going to be gone.
The crime, really making sure that we can address and making our city a safe place, a safe neighborhood, really ensuring that we think about all what's good about the Bay Area and the Valley, and addressing, you know, some of the most large theme problems and issues that we have.
So the results have not started to come in just yet. The polls closed at 8 o'clock. We'll be monitoring that very closely. The former mayor of San Jose has not shown up just yet. We're expecting to hear from him sometime around 8:30 or maybe 8:45 this evening. Among the people who are here to show support for the former mayor is another former mayor of San Jose. That's former Mayor Tom McHenry. He was one of the first folks to show up this evening. Really, this is a significant seat. Congresswoman Anna Eshoo has held the seat for 32 years. So it's a really big shakeup here in the South Bay and for the part of the peninsula as well that is encompassed by District 16. So definitely a major change for this part of the Bay Area, and multiple candidates in this. It's a crowded field. We're going to send it now over to Len Ramirez, who's going to be joining us live from Peter Dixon's watch party at MacArthur Park Restaurant in Palo Alto. Len, what's the temperature like over there?
Well, people are feeling pretty good over here in Palo Alto at Peter Dixon's party. Things are just getting started. A lot of people are arriving, and there's a lot of excitement around this candidate. I want to bring in Peter Dixon right now. Mr. Dixon, you are going against a lot of established candidates. Conventional wisdom says you have your work cut out for you in this race. How do you feel tonight?
I do think we have our work cut out for us, and this team has done that hard work in a short 3-month campaign. We've really put in the effort. We've knocked the doors. We've had the volunteers, and I think we are on the cusp of having a breakthrough here. So I'm proud of the effort that we've put forward.
Now, you've called yourself an outsider who gets things done. Can you explain?
Yeah, I think, this is a pretty switched on, smart, educated district. They know the issues, and I think that they, know an outsider kind of bumbles around a lot and is appealing in concept, but often isn't in a position to be able to really make a difference. I am an outsider who has a track record, not just in the State Department under Hillary Clinton or in the Pentagon under Obama or in the Marine Corps, but really through a nonprofit that I co-founded, helping to actually pass legislation on Capitol Hill and do so in a bipartisan way. And frankly, that's what we really need right now to confront the big challenges of our time.
Now, this race may set records for congressional spending. You're the leader in terms of fundraising and spending. Is that because you need to kind of bridge the gap in terms of name recognition?
You said it. I mean, we really had our work cut out for us to, in 3 months, go from zero name ID to being able to make sure that the voters had an informed choice today to know who we are and what we're capable of. And I'm just so grateful for everybody who stepped forward and helped make that possible in terms of fundraising and volunteering and everything that comes into a team effort like this.
So are you going to be here watching the returns tonight? Do you expect a late night or maybe a couple of days before the final results are in?
Yeah, I think a late night tonight, but we do think it's going to come down to the wire, so probably a few days before we truly know who the top two are going to be. And no matter who it ends up being, our team and our volunteers and our community, we've put forward a winning campaign. Now, whether the dynamics of the race actually mean that will be a winning campaign in terms of whether or not we go forward, we'll see. But I'm just so darn proud of the job that everybody's done here tonight.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dixon. Best of luck to you tonight. There's a lot of votes yet to be counted. We'll see how things go the rest of the night and as the week progresses. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's Peter Dixon. His party here in Palo Alto just getting started. You heard the candidate. He's running as an outsider, going up against all that name recognition, but he has the war chest in terms of dollars. So let's see how it goes tonight. Back to you.
Yeah, Len, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the next few days. It sounds like he was anticipating that as well. We appreciate it.